Kendall Nibbs, owner of Mahogany Hill Weddings, and this is the Memoirs of a Creative. First and foremost, I'm a clinical researcher, but I also own a wedding coordination and planning business based here in Richmond. And I've lived here for over 10 years and been in the business officially for 2. And I really enjoy working with kind of the laid back, cool, calm, and collected type couple. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, I'm all about the logistics and making sure that things go the way that they should.
Okay. So in your line of work, in your business, would you say it's hard?
Oh, right now, because of things that are going on, yeah, it's definitely hard. But I mean, for me, it's not. I enjoy it. I'm passionate about it. It makes me happy. And as of late, it feels like my full-time job is just getting in the way, other than financing the dream, right? But it definitely feels like this is more of what I'm born to do.
Okay. So in the times that we're in, COVID, how have you been able to find new ways to rejuvenate, to really rebrand the business in itself, per se? How have you been able to do that?
Oh, man. I mean, we're all just kind of figuring it out as we go. Honestly, I mean, this is completely unprecedented. You know, none of us really know what to do or what the right thing to do is. But in light of things that have gone on and there's been this big push of like downsizing and doing micro weddings, which is a whole defined term, and like mini moons and mini monies and all of that. And I'm actually in the middle of restructuring my whole service plan to cater to that and to cater to smaller groups and doing more intimate ceremonies and appealing to that. So I'm working on like developing a full planning service just for weddings that are like 50 and under, working on doing more like behind the scenes work and like programs and templates for people to do things themselves. Which is that's a big push, right? Because everybody wants to save money now. There's no point in doing, a 400-person wedding if like we legally can't have it. So I'm working on doing some things for people to do like their own thing and small like passive income type things, just so I can reach more people, let them know I'm still here, still doing the thing, but realizing that I need to adapt.
Have people been receptive to this new way of doing things?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely found, even the current clients that I have that I was supposed to see and supposed to service this year, they've kind of, postponed and pushed back to like next year. And even just having me there to say, like, I'm here for you and here are these things that I'm working on, whether you need like a template for like your new save the dates or anything else that you may need, I'm here to help you out. And people have been really receptive to that.
Have you booked any new clients?
I have.
During the pandemic that we are in?
Yeah, I surprisingly have. The last like 3 weeks out of nowhere, man, I have been stressful busy.
Yes.
Like not even anticipating it, not looking for it. Like apparently there's some Facebook group for people that are getting married that my name is coming up a lot. I don't even know what group it is. I have no idea where it came from. I don't even know the name of the group. But I've gotten several leads through that where people are like, yo, I've heard about you, and I just really wanted to reach out and see what you're doing, and I want to work with you. So that has been strange, honestly. But people are still getting married. They're still doing it, so I'll still be here.
Have you been able to, with everything going on, have there been a lot of weddings that were booked for this year that you couldn't do?
Couldn't do only because they've been pushed. There have been a couple that, I'm still trying to figure out the mechanics of, because, I have one coming up in a couple of weeks that's in Winchester that is, she's being told that she needs to cut 40 people from her guest list, and we're 3 weeks out.
Oh, man.
In order for the venue to like legally have them there. And then it's all inside, it's like in a hotel, so I'm trying to figure out how comfortable I am with that and how to work through that and how that's gonna work. I had a wedding a couple of weeks ago that was all outdoors, so I felt a little more comfortable being there. I was masked, every vendor was masked, but not a single guest was masked, right? So it's it's tough. But I mean, you think about it. Like, if I decide to go to a wedding right now, I don't know that I don't know that I would go. And B, if I do go, would I wear a mask? I just don't know. It's a weird thing. But yeah, I mean, it was all outdoor. Not a single guest wore a mask. And then I got a phone call that one of the people in the bridal party tested positive. So she called me to let me know, and it's like, these are the times that we're in, man. This is it. So yeah, I mean, it's a month by month thing almost, and seeing what the governor says and where we are with all of that, and wondering like who's actually going to have their wedding in the fall, who won't, and trying to test my personal limits too, and figuring out like where do I draw the line for me, because despite needing to make money, I still need to stay healthy.
Yeah, sure. Health is always the number one thing to make sure you handle.
Yes.
So let's take it back a little bit.
Okay.
Where did Mahogany Hill Weddings come from?
Oh, she was born in 2018, during the midst of me planning my own wedding. So I'll take that back a little bit. I planned my own wedding from scratch by myself in 4 months, which is pretty unheard of, right? It is pretty unheard of. So I planned the whole thing by myself. I did all the decorations myself. I did, all the organizing myself, which I enjoyed. And unlike most people that, the crazy wedding stress kind of gets to them, I enjoyed every bit of it. I enjoyed everything about it. I enjoyed making the phone calls. I enjoyed like the weird stress that comes with making sure I find the right people, creating my budget and keeping that in line. So I really enjoyed all that. When I was done, I realized that I still had 8 months until my wedding and all this energy that I didn't know what to do with. And I was sad that I wasn't spending an hour or two at work looking at wedding stuff.
So in creating, in that being the template or the deciding factor in you going to create this business, did you have a tough time starting off?
I did, because I felt lost a little bit. I had no idea how to start a business. I had no clue what to do, and I didn't know like what steps I needed to take. I honestly didn't know if I could. I didn't really know if I had the know-how or the skills or the personality, because I can be very shy despite people that know me. People that know me know that like my personality is huge, but it takes me a second to get there. And I need a security blanket sometimes. So starting this business was more than just starting a business for me. It was breaking out of my norm, and definitely breaking out of my shell to say, okay, I can do this. So that was hard, I think, at first. And then, figuring out marketing and figuring out like what my client base is, and honestly figuring out exactly what my services were going to be. All of that was hard. Price points, which is still in flux, and I think everybody kind of goes through that every few years, right? You look at the market and it's like, all right, well, can I adjust things? I've done more work now and more people know me, I can charge a little more. But all of that was just a lot. But I still, being the person that I am, doing the research that I did, I still was able to get everything started and launched in like 3 months. So I mean, but I was dedicated. I was pushing. I was pushing for it, man. I was spending like half my day at work, looking up things and figuring out what like licenses I needed and what classes I needed, if I needed any sort of education or certification to do it. I had reached out to a few other vendors that I knew, and asked them like kind of what their process was. I have a really close friend who had also started a small business 2 years prior. And I'd asked her about the LLC process and how hard that was. And I still lean on her a lot just because she's been in the game longer than I have. So yeah, that part was difficult but exciting, to finally see. Even coming up with a name was that took a few days, and I'm like, I don't even. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Very marketable.
Right. And that's what I wanted. I definitely wanted something that sounded elegant, but also almost like you feel like you're at home when you think about it, and that's what I wanted.
For sure. So, being that you are a Black woman in this business, right? How has it been trying to maneuver through the business of doing weddings? Because it can
Ooh.
It could be a sticky one.
Yeah.
See a lot.
It was, and that's part of what prompted me to start this business, was to put more faces that look like mine in spaces that we are not traditionally in. And I also wanted to do it in a way that broke the stereotype that comes with having my face and being in this industry. That was a big thing for me, was like, I want to do this, but I want to do this in a way that I set a standard that maybe other people may not be expecting from me when they see me. And I think I've accomplished that a little bit. I think I have. I definitely think I've accomplished that goal. Yeah, I've accomplished that goal of really just showing up and saying, whatever misconception you have about this face and this body when I show up at a wedding, I'm going to break that.
Yes. I'm glad that you had it. I know it can be a lot of obstacles in the field that we are in terms of how people perceive us.
Yes.
So if you could let us in just a little bit and tell us one time where, if there was one, where it was a little
obstacle. So I think that's something that comes with my life, right? Having the name Kendall, for example, and looking the way that I look is always an adventure when I meet somebody in person. Because they see my name and they see like my website, or maybe they didn't check the about, which has a picture of me, but they just see either the way that I speak via email or phone or text and all of that, and then they meet me and it's like, oh, you're Kendall. Yes, I am. Thank you. And it's gotten to the point now where I feel like saying thank you, because it's like, you know what, thank you for proving the point that I'm out here trying to prove. But that's been my whole life. But definitely in the wedding industry, a wedding that I did recently, I was forewarned by the couple that there may be some individuals that I would potentially come across that would be a little unsavory. So I carried that into the whole experience, and mind you, most of the vendor team were people of color, not just myself, but other vendors as well. I don't know if she did that intentionally or what, but I walked up on a table where things were being said in a hushed way because someone didn't think that I was in earshot or close enough, and I just had to smile and say, you can get up and go get your food now. Yeah, but I mean, that's life. The more that we walk this earth and the more people that we come across, it's going to happen. It's unfortunate and it sucks, and you would think that we were further along, but history repeats itself. And the pendulum just swings back, and at least now we're here and we're more equipped, right?
Yes, for sure. So when people look at this interview, and what do you want them to most take away from Kendall, Mahogany Hill? What would be the thing that you would want them to take from it?
For me, it's really about bet it all on yourself. And don't be shy, and don't be afraid to, because if I had stayed afraid of what could happen with me starting a business, I wouldn't be where I am now. And now I'm at the point where I have, other vendors that own businesses or venues that, bringing them in, $500,000 a year just from owning a venue, calling me and asking me to work for them a day that, they don't want their staff to do it. They ask that I do it for them, and they're paying me. And to think that if I had stayed in my box, I wouldn't have that opportunity. It's definitely about just bet it on yourself. Don't care about what people are going to think and what people are going to say, because you're going to come across that no matter what, regardless. And it's really, I am strong in the fact that I really just want to break barriers. And I've been doing that most of my life, and breaking stereotypes about what we are capable of doing. That's a big thing for me.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you getting this space for us and sitting with me for my YouTube series. And peace and blessings to you in the business. I hope it continues to grow.
Thank you.
And this has been Memoirs of a Creator.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.